I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. If you want to learn how to make more money with your indie film, subscribe now. Can indie filmmakers still make money with their films? The short answer is yes, you can. You can still make a living from indie films. I do. I know other filmmakers that do, and I'm going to share some of my data with you. So I released 2 feature documentaries in the month of April. On Amazon alone, those documentaries streamed around 8 million minutes apiece. One is actually well over that. Depending on the CER's customer engagement rankings, they'll make somewhere between $2,000 and $16,000 a piece for the month of April. And that's on Amazon alone. Now, of course, the numbers most likely won't stay that high for long, but statistically, I can count on them being in that ballpark for about 3 months. Plus, one was just accepted to Tubi TV, and the other has been submitted there by the distributor, who is also shopping the movie at Cannes next month, well, virtual Cannes. Con. By the end of June, these movies will be on platforms everywhere and will have already built up a good head of steam. Odds are good that these 2 movies will make my year, financially speaking. And let's just say that you release even 4 movies a year, which is completely doable. You can see how easily you could be in the 6-figure range in terms of profits. And keep in mind, these are micro-budget productions, produced well under $5,000 a piece. Okay, so I just gave you pretty much a great case scenario, but let me say this, it is not easy. I've been doing this a long time, and there's way more to it than just making a good movie. And I've had good movies earn, well, nothing. Movies where the producers never saw a dime. It definitely happens. The sad truth is, the vast majority of indie films don't even break even. For the 2 successes I had last month, I've had another 4 or 5 movies that were released this year that earned less than $1,000 a piece since October. The odds are against you. Statistically, there's a less than 20% chance of your film being successful. That said, I believe there's a disproportionate number of the failing films that are just poorly conceived from a business point of view. There are a ton of filmmakers that think that side of things will just take care of itself once the movie's complete. Sure, others have failed, but theirs is a masterpiece. It's a sure thing. They just push forward knowing that their film is going to be brilliant, and as long as they can just get it done, get it in the can, get it finished, everything will work out. Audiences won't be able to help but discover their gem. I know this train of thought well. This was me 15 years ago. And well, it's a nice thought. And bully to you, or anybody else that succeeds that way. And filmmakers occasionally do. But I can tell you from experience that that's a lottery ticket mentality that 99.9% of the time will not come to fruition. Honestly, the odds are probably a little better for an actual lottery ticket win. So you know the odds are against you, but you're going to go through it anyway. Why? Because you love making movies. You love movies. Nothing is going to stop you. And there's nothing wrong with a can-do, must-do attitude, but why not temper that with just a little bit of the business side? Okay, so what can you do to increase your odds? You can actually study the market. What's working? What's not? Take a look at your script. Is there an audience for it? Do you know how to reach them? You should make your projects out of passion. That's what I do. But there's absolutely no reason not to do some market research too. Before you shoot a frame, figure out how you're going to market and sell this masterpiece. Going into the market blind in this day and age, regardless of how good your movie is a recipe for disappointment. And if you're working with someone else's money, it's a moral imperative as well. The ability to market your work is almost equally important to your ability to make a good film. Some would say even more so. Now, a lot of people listening to this are going to nod their heads and say, yeah, I hear you, that makes sense. And then they're going to go out and blindly make their masterpiece anyway. And that movie is most likely going to end up on YouTube or Amazon, making pennies, if anything at all. Filmmakers today have to be more than just filmmakers. We have to be marketers. We have to be salesmen. It's also smart to diversify the income streams from our films. Alex Ferrari over at Indie Film Hustle talks about this better than I ever could. Check out his channel for that. I'll stick a link below. I still say that although it's extremely difficult, you can still make your living off the exhibition of your feature films. without resorting to selling seminars and doing contract work for clients. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of that. It's just I personally got into filmmaking to make feature films and television, and that's where I want to spend my energy. Now, I enjoy doing stuff like this, these YouTube videos, and someday if I'm able to monetize that some, I'm not saying I wouldn't. But for now, I'm concentrating on making movies that make money. That's what I'm gonna do. And it can still be done. If you want to learn how to make more money with your indie films, subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to help me level up the quality and the frequency of these videos, or just want to help out a fellow artist, please consider supporting me on Patreon. But whatever you do, keep making movies.